Broadcasting from the center of the universe and the Thrive15.com world headquarters.
Let's go!
Presenting the world's only business school without the BS, with optometrist and entrepreneur Dr. Robert Zellner, the former Small Business Administration Entrepreneur of the Year in your ear, Clay Clark. It's the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170. 3, 2, 1, boom!
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the Inspiration Station, your place that you go for that daily audio dojo of mojo. And today, on today's program, we are in, you are in as a listener, you are in for a special treat. This is show 99, Dr. Zellner. Can you believe it? Woo! Show 99?
To kick off the new year, how good is that?
I'm excited about it. And then later tonight, I'm going to have some Jamaican jerk chicken at my house. And so things could not be better for today's show.
The only thing that would make it better is if tonight you get some braids in your hair while you're eating your Jamaican jerk chicken.
That is, and some plantains.
And some plantains. That would, what a way to kick off the new year.
And I tell you what, I just when I thought today's show could not get any better. Today we have a very incredible guest on the show. It's Mr. Brian Ross. He's a financial educator, counselor, speaker, sort of a finance guru, a motivational guru. Mr. Brian, how are you, sir?
I am doing fabulous, and it is a pleasure to be here with you all today. I've heard you on the radio, and now I'm here. Dreams can come true. I just want to say.
There you go, Brian. Hey, listen, I just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
Today is the first show of the new year.
It is.
And I want to send every Thriver out there a special Happy New Year. And this is the year. And we're going to help you kick off this year and realize you're starting your business, starting your dream goal. And you know how we're going to do that, Clay?
How are we going to do it?
In about 3 weeks.
Okay.
Let's see, it's January the 20th and 21st.
Oh, yeah.
Get out a piece of paper. I know you're on your way to lunch. You're thinking, where am I going to go to lunch today? You're probably off because a lot of businesses are shut down today, too.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing.
I felt kind of alone in the box that rocks. I realized there wasn't a lot of people in the building today.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that are actually taking the day off. But, excuse me, that's okay. You know what? You're going to lunch. You're figuring out what to eat. You might have just rolled out of bed. I mean, it's a long weekend.
2 days after
2 days
just
after
now getting up here.
But here's the deal. Write this down. January 20th and 21st, we are having a workshop. And what goes on in this workshop, Clay?
Well, what we did is we sat down and we looked at all the emails and all the questions that were coming in from you, the listener. And many of you were asking some of the same questions. You're wanting to know, how do you manage your time? How do you do sales? How do you guys do marketing? How do you guys get to the top of Google? How is it possible that Dr. Robert Zellner has invested in a bank? He owns one of the top auto auctions in town. He owns a thriving optometry clinic. Clay is involved in a photography company. He has 3 stores of the Elephant in the Room men's grooming lounge. How do you guys do this stuff? What is the secret sauce? And the good news is that I'll speak on behalf of myself. I'm not that smart, so I can tell you it's not that complicated, but we are going to teach you a proven system with a guarantee that there are absolutely no upsells. So for 15 hours, we're going to be working with you, teaching you how to start and grow a successful business. But we are not going to be upselling you stuff in the back of the room.
Well, the thing, here's my heart. The thing I love the most is we've partnered with local business people. Yes, there's some business women also that have said, this is good stuff. And if someone calls from pick a spot, Topeka, Kansas, and says, I want to come down to your workshop. I need this to help me with my business. We have gotten sponsorship money, so it doesn't have to be all out of your pocket. If you say, listen, I really want to come, but I can only afford this. We've got some people that have donated to the cause to make sure that nobody gets left out.
If you've got $7 in your pocket right now, you probably want to go to Oklahoma Joe's and buy some baked beans.
Well, yeah, that's
But with the remaining 2 or 3, you literally could afford to attend our workshop. And Brian, I want to ask you this because you've spoken at a lot of workshops all over the country. You've spoken at many speaking events. What is what makes a workshop so magical? I mean, regardless of the Thrive 15 workshop, why is a workshop such a great way to learn as opposed to, by maybe reading a book or what makes a workshop a fabulous place to learn?
It's that dynamic between the speaker and the audience, that give and take. There's an energy that you just cannot be duplicated in by reading a book. So the workshop is a powerful dynamic that gives you transfer of energy, really.
Now, for the people who are listening who are just getting familiar with you, Brian, your website is takeabigstep.com. and you teach how to improve your financial literacy, how to improve your customer service, how to inspire the workforce. What has you so passionate about these topics?
Absolutely. Well, the thing that I am passionate about most is promoting financial education. I came from very humble beginnings. I saw a lot of struggle growing up, and I became very motivated to learn how to overcome financial adversity. And I want to be a part of the solution and not part of the problem. So I've become an advocate for financial literacy and financial education.
Now, on today's show, Z, we're going to get into a powerful topic that we're going to dive into on a deeper level at the workshop, but it's how to brand your business to attract more customers. And so you might be listening and going, well, why do I need to listen to this? Z, why do I need to listen to anything about branding?
Why do what's branding?
I think even a bigger question some people have is,
can we talk about brandy? It's a fine after dinner drink.
Are you guys going to be branding a cow on the air?
Just weird.
No, but the thing is, what is branding? So I'm going to give you an example. One of our Thrive15.com mentors, Michael Levine, he is the PR guru of choice for Nike, for President Clinton, for Prince, for Michael Jackson. And one thing he talks about is this thing called the Tiffany box theory, or the Tiffany theory. And his concept here is that when you present somebody with a ring, okay, you present a young lady with a ring for your engagement there, you get down on one knee and you present her with that ring. If you pulled that ring out of a Kmart bag, her immediate perception of that ring would be whatever that might be. Now, if you take the same ring, if you were kind of a dirty guy, but you're a great brander, if you took that ring that you bought from Kmart and you put that in a Tiffany box and you got down on one knee, that same ring would be perceived with a different set of value, and it would the bride to be might go, "Oh my gosh, it's so incredible!" Even though you know, and we all know that was cubic zirconium and not a diamond ring. But the thing is, it's all about branding, Z. Branding.
Oh, I've got a great branding story.
Give it to us.
Okay, so I'm a buddy and I and our couples would go to Las Vegas for New Year's Eve. This is years ago.
Viva Las Vegas!
And the move is they give you a gift, right?
Yeah.
The casinos give you the things give you a gift, and so they gave him a gift of this Waterford crystal champagne flutes.
And I happen to know about Waterford crystal because I used to help a company get to the top of Google for that term.
Oh wow! Okay, cool.
It is so expensive.
So expensive.
So
yes.
expensive.
So nice. High quality. So it's, the box and the presentation, just kind of like the Tiffany box deal, is so nice, So he takes it home. He takes out his 2 Waterford crystal glasses and cleans them up and puts them in the shelf. And he's thinking, that's a waste of a fine box just to throw that thing away, right?
Yeah.
So what he does, he gets out of his your cabinets. They're just 2 regular champagne flutes, right?
Right.
And puts them back in the box. Okay, you followed me?
Yeah.
Closes it, wraps it up, and gives it to one of his workers, who cherishes it to this day.
Really?
And his move is when he has a lady friend come to the house, he takes that box out of the cabinet, sets it down, opens that rascal up, and her eyes just light up. He pulls those 2 champagne flutes out, fills them up with beverage of choice, hands one to her, and she's like, I hit the home run here.
That's his move.
That's his move.
That's his go-to move.
That's his go-to move. That's like the Kmart sack and the Tiffany box,
Now, Thrivers, you're listening right now and you're trying to score points with the ladies. Really, that's what today's show is all about. No, but seriously, here's the thing is, if you have a business and maybe you want to start a business, according to Forbes, 57% of the audience listening today wants to start a business. But let's say you already have one. I want you to go ahead and rate the following 5 things on a scale of 1 to 10, okay? The first is your website. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being it looks world-class, and 1 being it looks like you made it yourself because you're a good guy and you had to have a website. You had to have a website, okay? Move number 2 are your business cards. Your business cards. I mean, your business cards, do they look professional or do they look like my first business cards? I basically went to Kinko's, told the guy, type my name on there. It's an all-white card with black font, and it didn't have anything special to it. The third is your brochures. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, rate your brochures on a scale of 1 to 10. 4 is your signage. And the 5th is your personal brand. Your personal brand in terms of like what does the community think about you, or what do your ideal and likely buyers think about you? And Z, it's so important that we are very self-aware of our branding if we do own a business.
Absolutely. It's what people will think of you before they even get to know you. And so once again, those 5 things are website, business card, brochure, signage, and personal brand. And be honest. Here's the thing about it. We can help people that are honest. We really can. And that's what this show's. I know, that's what
be dishonest.
I'm going to put a 10 on each one of these and just turn the radio off now and go eat, at Oklahoma Joe's barbecue. No. Listen to the show. Be honest with yourself. Since you brought up Michael Jackson earlier, the man in the mirror, be the man in the mirror, and really write these down. And if you're saying, well, I don't really know what my website looks like, you could get on some big time websites, like go to some major brands and look at theirs. Go to some, hometown hokey ones, look at those, and you can kind of say, okay, that's about a 1. This one of Nike's is like a 10, Apple's, I'm sure they got a pretty good website. So you can kind of get a feel of those and then really be honest about that. And the rest of these also, okay? I remember, Clay, when I was coming out of school, the practice management class, this is back in 1990 when I was getting out of optometry school, our practice management gave us just a couple of 3 tips.
Okay, well, three tips.
He gave us 3 tips. He says, 1, go out and get your business card, and the more white on it, the better. The less black you have on your card, the better. That shows professionalism.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're just taking notes. Like, okay, that's okay. And your signage on your door, small. That lets people know that you are a real professional doctor. You don't want it just small on your door, and that's professionalism.
You don't want to be a sellout, out there putting up big old letters on doors.
And the third move, and this is true. This is the honest truth about my practice management teaching in optometry school. Oh yes. And the third super move that I was taught coming out of school was you join the largest church in town, and you're one of the dudes that passes around the bucket.
You need to join.
Are you kidding me?
That was a move.
Those are the 3 moves. The most wide on your business card. You're as smallest signage you can put on your door, and you pass the bucket at a big church in town. I was sitting there going, wow, that's, I was sitting there thinking, I think there's more. I think there could be more than that.
Now, I want to ask this, Brian, for anybody who's listening right now, who maybe their personal brand, they're kind of known as the guy who's always asking people for $4. They're known as the guy who's always going, hey, do you have $4? Can I borrow $6? Can I borrow $4? If they want to take this new year, this new approach, this new lease on life, and they want to make this the best financial year of their life, what do you have for them? How can people get in touch with you, my friend?
Absolutely. Takeabigstep.com is the best way to get in touch with me. Again, that's takeabigstep.com. The biggest New Year's resolution that someone like that could do is to create an emergency fund. Over half of the country is paycheck to paycheck. 67% of people earning over $50,000 a year cannot handle a $1,000 emergency. So creating that emergency fund has got to be one of your first highest priorities in the new year.
And kind of a fun way to think about it is if you don't have enough money saved for an emergency, this may happen.
First off, I am 35 years old. I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river.
That could happen, right?
Easily.
Well, we have an office down by the river, but we don't live in a van. So.
I was telling the kids I want to buy an old van, and I want to just drive it into the river and just leave it there. That way we can tell people we literally have a van down by the river.
Down by the river. Well, today it only looks about half full of water, so it's really it could be beachfront property. It could be down on the beach.
Now, Thrivers, when we come back, we're going to learn what Elon Musk has to say about branding. Elon Musk, the famous billionaire. We're going to learn what he has to say about branding when we come back. Thrivetime Show.
This show is brought to you by Adobe Creative Cloud. If you're a photographer, graphic designer, video editor, podcaster, business owner, or just creative genius, this is for you. All of your creative tools, all in one place. Creative Cloud includes the entire collection of creative apps for desktop, from favorites like Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator to new tools like Adobe Experience Design. Check this out. You can create podcasts seamlessly and high quality with Adobe Audition. Did you miss the exposure or looking to create a stunning and beautiful photo? You gotta download Lightroom, okay? The latest release of Adobe Creative Cloud is here with incredible new features in Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, and all of your favorite apps, plus millions of Adobe stock assets and new premium images are built right in. so you can turn your brightest ideas into your best work fast. Make sure that you check out Adobe Creative Cloud. It's at adobe.com. Once again, Adobe Creative Cloud at adobe.com.
Live, local, now. You're listening to the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170.
All right, Thrive Nation and Oklahomies, welcome back inside the box that rocks, which is nestled inside the beautiful Thrive15.com world headquarters, located on the left coast of the beautiful Arkansas River. My name is Clay Clark, the voice of choice and the host with the most, joined here today with a guy who's really the super host. He's a guy who's put the Z all over Tulsa like he is Zorro. He's sort of a big deal. He's a father of 3 kids. He's 52, but he looks 22. It's Dr. Robert Zellner.
What an introduction. And Clay, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's January the 2nd.
Oh, yes.
Now, I know on New Year's Eve you did not stay up to bring in the new year because I know your move. You are
about 8 o'clock. I'm peacing out.
8 p.m. You are done day. Boom.
Yeah,
out,
done.
Out cold. Boom. Bam. But on yesterday, Sunday, you had the whole day to kind of facilitate your mind and whatnot. Are you a dude that makes New Year's resolutions? Is the question I'm getting to.
I have a list of things that I will definitely get done that I put on a list. And I call this is different than a resolution because I'm a little bit different.
Is that on your list, or is this a different list?
I scheduled into my list, so I don't necessarily, and I'm not being difficult about semantics, but there's people that resolve to do things, and for me, I have found that if I don't schedule it, it won't happen.
Ooh,
so I have
we could do a show just on that one.
So
That's
I have 5 moves I'm doing this year for sure.
Okay. I'm writing them down.
These are things my wife and I, when it goes about it relates to the 5 F's, and with your mentorship, I'm moving on to a 6th F as well. But the first one, as far as faith, the Metropolitan Baptist is a church that we have discovered, and we're just going to keep going there. So every Sunday, it's in the schedule.
Boom.
Okay. Now, family, we do family nights every Sunday night at 6 p.m., and it's just more of a renewal of that move. Okay. And I'm not traveling this year.
Oh, that's right. You dropped the mic on that.
Yeah, and I don't like traveling. I don't like going places, and so this year I said I'm not going to travel. I have one more thing I'm kind of committed to in March, but that's it. So I'm going to stay in Oklahoma and just really be secure in my middle Americanness. Okay, so that's
now I said you dropped the mic and you're not speaking anymore, but technically with our in-person workshops,
love speaking.
You're going to be speaking, but you'll be right here. Right over there, matter of fact, if you're watching on Facebook Live, you can actually see our studio, the Thrive 15 Nucleus headquarters right behind us because we're in the box that rocks. But you'll still be speaking.
I will be. And the thing is, at the workshops we do here, we teach very linear, like how to build a workflow, how to build checklists, processes, systems. It's really very specific, detailed stuff. Yeah. And typically the speaking events I did in the past, they would go...
kind of big picture stuff?
They would say, well, could you come in and kind of do like a Jim Gaffigan meets business and then just sort of make everybody laugh, but make sure not to use the word Whole Foods.
And you got to be like Jim Carrey with some physical stunts.
It's just a different thing. So, and then the third area, you get the faith, you get the family. As it relates to fitness, I'm just eating a lot of celery, a lot of peanut butter celery. Kind of, you did that thing a couple years back where you started off the year by not eating a whole lot of whatever you wanted to eat.
Yeah. January I'll take off. I'll kind of go vegan and not any alcohol and January's kind of my cleansing month, if you will.
So I basically have got it set up where the celery and the peanut butter is being brought to the office every day, and that's what I'm eating.
Okay. So and why did you decide celery and peanut butter?
I don't like it at all.
Okay, well that makes a lot of sense there.
It's a thing that way I'm not tempted to eat too much of it because I don't like it at all. It's disgusting to me. So that's the fitness area. And then with friendships, there's certain people on the list that I just want to take the relationship to that next level. Yeah. Really invest in staying in touch there. Yeah. And then on the finances side, we automate everything in my life. So we automate our savings. So it's not like I have to get motivated about it. It's just like a certain percentage of everything that goes in is saved. But we've decided that we're going to continue to build a staycation. You've seen kind of Camp Clark and the Chicken Palace we're building.
It's so fun. You got that wall going up. You've got the trees. You've got the tree house in the back there.
The man path.
Oh, the man path.
So
the
we have
chickens
18,
following you.
18 new trees are going in right now, so I'm excited.
You're listening to the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170.
And we talk about finances and financial goals. We have a very special guest on the show today who I could not be more excited to have inside the box that rocks, because Brian Ross is a financial educator with over 20 years of experience. And for anybody who's listening right now who's almost desperate for a little bit of financial coaching or help, how can you help them, Brian?
Well, first of all, I want to mention the website is takeabigstep.com. Again, takeabigstep.com. You mentioned something that is crucial, and that is automation. 50% of people that are eligible to participate in a company's 401k plan do not participate.
Ooh, shame on them.
If they could discover the automation of investing in their 401k, it would make a tremendous amount of difference.
Real quick, that was a knowledge bomb.
Yeah.
Automations.
Yeah.
Just set it and forget it, Thrivers. Set it and forget it. That's how you do it. Now, today we are talking specifically, we're deep diving into branding, okay? We're going to get more into it at the 2-day workshop, which, oh, by the way, if you're listening, go to thrivetimeshow.com while we still have some seats available and see if you can request a spot, because we don't make these things very big. They're very intimate. They're very detailed. You can put your hand up, talk to somebody, reach across the way, give somebody a fist bump. You can meet guys like Dr. Z and myself. We're going to teach you the specific moves that we do to start and grow a business, and we commit that everyone can afford it, and we will never attempt to upsell you anything. There's nothing in the building to be upsold to you. And so we're talking about this personal branding and branding your business. And here's what Elon Musk has to say about it. He says, brand is just a perception, and perception will match reality over time. Sometimes it will be ahead, other times it will be behind. But brand is simply a collective impression some have about a product. This is the guy who started, PayPal and Tesla and SpaceX. Z, talk to me about branding as it relates to Robert Zellner and Associates, your optometry clinic celebrating its 25th year in operations. What kind of things do you do as it relates to branding over there?
Well, one of the things you mentioned earlier is that we have made a use of our signage, and we branded ourselves with this Z. We have a logo now that is, people can see it and they know it.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of money on designing it, spent a lot of money on spreading it around. I'm sorry, Tulsa. But you see it and they go, hey, that's that guy, right?
Typically, if I go out to eat with you, and if you pay, the person goes, "Oh, you're the doctor guy."
You're that one guy with the thing.
Yeah. The guy with the thing.
The thing with the thing, and it's all over town. Yeah.
So you're intentional about that.
I'm intentional about that. I've stuck with it. When I started my auto auction, which is Z66 auto auction, I used the same that same Z, the same font, same everything with that Z, and put it back into the logo. Why? Because there's value in that. Why is there value in it? Because we've built the brand.
And with the new billboard we're working on, rumor has it, Tulsa, you might see a Z on there. You might see.
Sorry again.
Sorry again. Now, Z, I want to ask you this though. For anybody who's listening who says, "Okay, I've heard some of your commercials. I've heard the Robert Zellner and Associates commercials on the radio, and I've heard Brian just talk about how you have to automate anything that you want to happen consistently."
Okay.
Do you recommend people commit to like a year contract for TV ads, radio ads? I mean, because you seem pretty consistent with your branding of your advertisements over the years.
Well, here's what I found is that the more you commit, the better deal you get. And if you're going to spend it, if you're going to say, hey, listen, I'm going to spend money on marketing. I have determined my most likely buyer. I have determined the message I want to send to them. I have a good, I want to work on my branding. And guess what? I want to be committed to it. And that's the only way if you're not that way in your advertising, then don't do it. Save your money. But if you want to do those things, and so I have found that if you step up to either a TV station, radio station, you give them a longer commitment, they'll give you a better deal.
Now, Thrivers, stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to talk about the law of credibility. Stay tuned. The law of credibility. Thrivetime Show.
Are you a business owner? You need to ask yourself right now, how are you backing up your files and important documents? Most businesses have no system for the files in their business. If this is you, you got to use Dropbox. At least sign up for one of their 30-day free trials. Real talk, it's the secure file sharing and storage solution that employees and IT administrators trust. You get as much space as needed at no additional cost. You get unlimited file recovery and versioning, basically creating new versions, and valuable admin controls for secure sharing and collaboration with Dropbox for Business. You got to check this out. After using Dropbox, you'll definitely feel more secure knowing that a virus or power surge can't ruin your computer and your entire business. Try full access to Dropbox Business for 30 days. Head over to Dropbox.com to get started. Again, Dropbox.com to get started.
You're listening to the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170.
Hello, Tulsa. Hello, Green Country. Hello, Oklahomies, and welcome back inside the box that rocks your daily audio dojo of mojo, where we talk about how to start and grow a successful business faux show. My name is Clay Clark. I'm the former SBA Entrepreneur of the Year in your ear, and as always, I'm joined here with Dr. Robert Zellner. Sir, how are you?
I am fantastic. Happy New Year, Thrivers.
Yes.
It's the first show of the new year. And you know what? Let's just kick this thing off the right way. Let's kick off 2017 the right way.
We're gonna kick it off the right way, but I'm gonna tell you who kicked it off the wrong way.
Oh, no.
Did you see what Mariah Carey did or did not do? Have you seen this video?
No, I didn't.
She gets up there to sing, and she's a final performance before the ball drops. And she no longer can sing because she's in a little bit of she's more mature of a lady, and she doesn't have the range anymore.
Okay.
But she quit a few years ago even trying. So now it's all like piped in tracks, and the tracks with her lead vocals weren't there. So she literally didn't even attempt to try to sing or to hold the mic, and she basically just sort of let it be known that she was drunk and she was not going to try. And there's 1 million people standing there in front of her in New York Times Square.
Oh, I've got to watch this video.
Oh, my
I
gosh.
have not heard that. How did I miss that?
Oh, it is crazy. And then she does another song. So she has a 3-song set.
Oh, nice.
And on song 3, she just pieces out. She's just like walks off the stage.
Walks off the stage.
And that right there, that was the highlight of my new year, probably the low light of her career.
Oh, no.
But then she kind of left. She goes, she said something like, and we look forward to more great headlines in 2017. And she just sort of walks off. But it was the master of disaster.
That's not the way you kick off the year. Technically, though, if she was singing it right before the ball dropped,
yeah,
that's how she ended her year. Not to get technical on you, just throw a little
she
science
started from the
math.
bottom, and now she's working her way up there.
So 2017 can only go one way for her. It can't. Her performances can only go because I think she's coming to the BOK Center right here in Tulsa.
She
next
is
year.
coming to the BOK, and I might be doing the vocals for her. I don't know. Now,
at least she'll want us to make sure they're on the track. I mean, she'll say, "Hey, you guys seem like you know what you're doing with audio visual."
Now she's going to want to take a big step forward with her personal branding, and I'll tell you a guy who knows a little bit about taking a big step. We've got Mr. Brian Ross on the show today. Now, this guy is a personal financial kind of expert, kind of like a Tulsa's own little Dave Ramsey almost, a guy who travels around the country doing speaking events, educating people. But before you did that, Brian, what have you been doing throughout the last 20 years of your career? What kind of, what does your career path look like?
Well, I have been a financial planner here in Tulsa for a while. After I sold my practice, I joined the Department of Interior. And so I've
heard about those guys.
Exactly.
What is that, like decorating stuff? What is that? What do they do? There's
yes, the boss goes over here, and this. No, it was the U.S. government, actually. I worked with the Department of Interior there.
Oh, wow.
And primarily, I was involved in promoting financial education throughout Indian country. In fact, I was fortunate enough to win an award from the Secretary of Interior for my work in promoting financial literacy.
And I don't mean this in a sarcastic way, but why do you care so much about financial literacy? What is your deal?
It's a very personal mission for me. I grew up in the poorest county in Oklahoma, Adair County. I saw a lot of poverty, experienced a lot of that, and it had a profound impact on me. I know that people are struggling out there. I see it every day. And I know it's largely a lack of knowledge. Sometimes it's personal choices, let's be real.
Oh, yeah.
But at the end of the day, a lack of knowledge can sometimes be the difference between success and failure. And you all can speak about the importance of knowledge.
Yeah. Well, Thrivers, if you're listening here today, today's topic we're going to deep dive into is specifically about branding and branding your business. And so often, I see this all the time, and I did it with my first business, and so I'm not here to judge. I'm just going to tell you what I did wrong, but I also kind of brag on what I did right. I mean, I had an old Mazda MPV van. It was a maroon van. I had no money, but I had the ability to do painting. I was pretty good at painting, and I had some one-shot paint enamel that I bought, and I hand-painted my van with the words DJ Connection on it. And for those of you who maybe saw that and go, that was a disaster, I actually booked about 10 weddings a year from that crazy vehicle. And then over time, I had it professionally painted.
You're listening to the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170.
So to quote George Washington Carver, you need to start where you stand with the tools that you have. However, because of what we have going for you now in Tulsa with Thrive15.com, we literally have made the branding game very, very affordable for you. And if you don't like our services, you can use somebody else. But I remember, Z, when I first had my logo made, you tell me if I was way off base here.
Okay.
When I had my first logo built and my website built, my tab was $16,000 for the logo, the website, the cards. That was $16,000. That was like in 2001. Was that did I pay too much, or was that about right in Tulsa?
Well, you better, if you got your money's worth, that's what it's all about. I mean, sometimes you can overpay. You overpay for anything, to be honest with you. But if you got it professionally done and it was done correctly, and that's something you could keep for the rest of your career, because that's one thing you want to do is you don't want to rebrand yourself very often, because you spend a lot of money on getting that logo and brand out there. So if you start with excellence, then you can go forward with it. So is that too much to spend? No, if you got your money's worth.
Well, I'll just say this. If you're listening right now, the Thrive15.com experience, we've set it up with our scholarship fund where it's $1,500 a month for people that need these tools. And there's a lot of great companies in town that'll do it for you as well, but it's just not good for your business to not have professional branding. You've got to start somewhere. You have to have great branding, because if not, Z, there's this thing called the law of credibility.
Yes.
I don't want to get into it, but the law of credibility states that you should never say anything that you can't prove.
Ooh.
So here's an example.
Okay.
I was there meeting with brides and grooms at McDonald's. And this is
that was your first move.
I'm meeting them at McDonald's. I have no sales material. I have no logo. I have no website. I have no collateral. I don't have anything to prove that I am in fact real. And I'm saying, hey, if you give me $250 cash deposit today to reserve me for your wedding, I will show up in 6 months.
Yeah, here at McDonald's, as kids are running by the table and.
But when I started wearing the suit and the tie and had all the professional print materials made and a legitimate website, people started taking me more seriously, and that led to actual sales. And so the law of credibility can really hurt you. It can work for you or against you. But I encourage you, if you're listening right now, make sure the law of credibility is working to your favor.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. You sit there in your baggy clothes, your loop earrings, meeting at McDonald's.
It was hot.
I mean, that was a hot sauce right there.
I would say something like, hey, to really get this relationship off to a good start, can I get you something off the dollar menu? No, seriously.
You can have whatever you want as long as it's on that menu right there.
Now, move number 3 here as it relates to branding is it's the power of the mastermind or the power of association. Let me just kind of give this concept a deeper dive here. Let's say that there's a book called Your Network is Your Net Worth by Porter Gale. She's one of the ladies who used to be the marketing expert for the Virgin companies. She says, though, that if you take your network and you kind of determine the average net worth of your network, that'll probably be your net worth. Basically, the people you hang around begin to become the ceiling on your goals and connections, and you begin to have to realize if you want to move up to the next level, you've got to surround yourself with people who are where you want to be. And so, Z, what advice would you have for someone listening right now who realizes their social circle maybe isn't exactly the right crowd for attracting wealth and deals? What advice would you have for them?
Get out a piece of paper right now. Okay. If you're driving, pull over to the next truck stop. Get in Quick Trip. I mean, get somewhere. Okay. Pull out a piece of paper, and here's what you need to do.
Okay.
Sorry, everybody. Little frog in my throat.
Little froggy.
A little froggy. Whoop, ribbit. Here's what you need to do. Write down for 2017, we're going to make your top 10 list. I want you to write down 10 people that you know that you want to do lunch with. All right? That are people that you admire, that are people that you like to pick their brain. You just write them down right now. 1 through 10. Boom, 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 boom. And when we get back, we're going to give you a few super moves and how you are going to take these 10 people to lunch this year and get them in your inner circle.
Because once you get them in your inner circle, Thrivers, the opportunities it creates are game-changing. Thrivetime Show.
For the professional-looking man out there, this is for you. Are you tired of waiting for hours in disorganized barbershops around town? Are you maybe looking for an upscale haircut experience instead of being treated like a little kid? If either of these thoughts crossed your mind, then Elephant in the Room Men's Grooming Lounge is for you. The Elephant in the Room Men's Grooming Lounge is proud to offer a variety of packages and memberships for discerning men and regular customers who wish to maintain their tailored look while receiving discounts off of services and products. They're going to bring you in, they'll offer you a beverage, identify your style that you're going for, get you a tailored haircut from one of the professional stylists, wash your hair, and then style it afterwards so you could even go back to work. The experience is awesome. They even do cool things for members like a free nape shave on Mondays or a peppermint oil scalp massage on Tuesday. Check out one of the locations near you and book an appointment. You can check them out at eitrlounge.com or just dial 918-877-2219. Seriously, you're going to love it. 918-877-2219 or visit eitrlounge.com to book an appointment today.
You're listening to the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the Inspiration Station. This is Business School Without the BS, and yes, my name is Clay Clark. I'm the former SBA Entrepreneur of the Year, and I am here with the man, the myth, the legend, and a guy that I once put on a sheet of paper because I said that I want to get to know this man. He was my wife's boss. My wife was working there at Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates. She's one of those front people that was greeting people, and then she'd also occasionally get to be a tester, I believe, a prepper.
Pre-tester, yes.
A pre-tester. And Dr. Z was on the list of people that I wanted to meet, and thankfully, he lost all sense of judgment, and he just agreed to meet me.
You wore me down.
Wore him down.
Wore him
Now,
down.
Z, before we left, you were telling people, you said, get out a sheet of paper and do what?
Write down the names of 10 people you want to take to lunch in the near future. All right. And we're being this because we're being purposeful. One of the things that Clay just said is by association. And if you associate with people that have a higher net worth than you, that are in your mind successful in their business, successful in their life, successful in an area that you want to be successful in, okay? These are the kind of people you need to surround yourself with. And how do you do that? You have to be purposeful about that. So you just don't randomly walk the street and go, hey, I'm
What
Billy.
I like to do, I like to surround myself with
I'm Billy.
people.
What's your net worth? I want to see if I can put you on. No, you know who these people are. And you look at them from afar and you say to yourself, wow, they've got it going on. Put their name on your list. And we're going to teach you in this show right now on some moves so that you can do lunch with them, okay?
Dr. Z, what I like to do is keep it real. I want to surround myself with people that are also real, and I don't want to be fake. You know what I mean? I want to surround myself with people that carry a lead pipe in the car, so if something happens, they're ready to go. You know what I'm
Boom,
saying?
and a shovel.
Boom,
You
and
gotta have a shovel, and a shovel,
and
you
a
know.
bunch of concrete. Right? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what we're even talking about, but I swear, if things got out of hand, my guys would be available.
Well, you would be working on a little bit different organizational association group with that, okay?
Okay.
And that's probably a different show. I think that's on that's the Home and Gardening Network, I think, or something like that.
Okay.
You know, that's a different show.
So again, now I'm going to make an example. I have a story from my life I want to share here.
All right, here we go.
Is years ago, though, I wanted to meet with you.
Right? Yes, she did.
And Kylie, I think, has Kylie worked with you for 20 years?
Yeah, a long time.
And Kylie looks like she's like 27. I don't know how that's possible. Kylie, if you're listening right now and you know Kylie, one of the managers for Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates, you know she's a great person. And Kylie, you know, she's very dutiful. She's very diligent. She's consistent. And I'm just trying to book a meeting. And I tried moves like, hey, Kylie, how you doing? You know, and she's like, good, Clay. You know, I said, can I set up a meeting with Dr. Z? She says, you know what? I'll pass the message to him.
I'll pass it along.
And I did that about maybe 4 or 5 times. And I realized,
yeah,
I don't know whether I don't feel like I've met with him yet. So then I thought
he's still on my list.
So I thought the whole voicemail move.
Oh yeah.
So I would call and I'd say, hey, I'm trying to leave a message for Bob. You know?
Bob.
And I figured maybe their friends call you Bob or
maybe,
Bobby
yeah.
Or Mac or Buddy. I don't know. So I'm like, leave a message. I'm like, yeah, I have to leave a message for Bobby. You know, this is his friend Clay. You know, no. And it gets weird because then when you walk up and you know Kylie knows that you're the one who's left the voicemail that's pretending to know a guy named Bobby, because no one calls you Bobby, right?
No one calls me Bobby. When they do, this is what they hear.
Yeah, no,
Just crickets.
So I went with the letter move. I thought I'd send out some letters. I didn't get into smoke signals, but I tried a lot of moves.
Yeah.
And then eventually she goes, we had an opening or you had a cancellation or something.
Yeah.
And he'd be happy to meet you tomorrow at Ruby Tuesdays.
Yeah,
He
for
likes
lunch.
the croutons.
Yeah, I like and changed your life too if I remember correctly.
They're great. And I just remember going, what? Santa? Santa? But I mean, I'm not kidding. I was probably, 30 contacts in. And Z, why is it that you have not made yourself just infinitely accessible to everybody? Why is it that only at things like our workshops or things where you're very intentional about being there, why have you not made yourself infinitely accessible as you've grown your businesses?
Because I want a life.
What?
I know, it's crazy. Because I want a life and I want to be able to do the things that I want to do, not the things that I have to do. And whenever you set up a bunch of these meetings with folks that just want to get in and pick your brain, I mean, I'll do those for there's a portion of my life I'll do that. But the rest, I just don't want to have everybody else controlling my schedule. I want to be controlling my schedule. Now, if someone reaches out to me like you did and is purposeful and is intentional and is nice and continues to do that, that's one way to do it, just persistency. That's one super move you can write down. You can just put down on your piece of paper underneath your 10 names, be persistent. If you get a no, you don't scratch them off your list. If you get I can't, my lunches are booked for the next month. Well, then when's your first opening? I mean, be persistent. That's one move.
Now, I want to ask you guys, if you do get the meeting, Brian, if you get the meeting, Z, if you get the meeting, and I'm sure you've seen this before, but where you've agreed to meet with somebody and they get a little bromantic on you.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, Dr. Z, I want to talk to you about 37 things. And I'm thinking about going on a spiritual quest to Alderaan. And you're going, that's a planet in Star Wars? No, but I'm just going to be going to Alderaan. I'm part of a diplomatic mission. And I want to open this coffee shop, but it's not really, it doesn't serve coffee as much as it serves spiritual wholeness to the city. And you're just like, whoa. I mean, you've been in those meetings, right?
It's coffee from Alderaan. Yes. Yes. Oh,
okay.
yes.
So I want to ask you guys.
And you're crawling out of your skin. You can't get out of them quick enough. I mean, you're just like, someone text me, someone call me.
I'm going to start with
There's
you,
an
Z, and then
emergency
I want to ask our guest here. Okay, I'm going to start with you first, though. What are things you don't do if you're meeting somebody who's way out of your league? Okay, if you're fishing in a dinghy and you find yourself meeting like you and I have with David Robinson, or you're meeting with a George Foreman, or you're meeting with some Tulsa unicorn that you've been chasing, what do you not do? What are the rules, and what do you do?
Well, what the rules you don't do is talk about intimacies of your life. Talk about, you a lot. You're there to pick their brain. You're there to ask them open-ended questions. You're there to get to know them. You're there to present yourself in the best way possible, okay? And hopefully, if things go well, you might get another meeting. You might start building a relationship. You might get the opportunity to send some emails. You might be able to take that little step forward. Don't assume it, and don't overestimate their interest in you.
Don't overestimate their interest in you.
Yeah, does that sound mean?
It did. It felt mean.
I didn't mean for it to be mean. Listen, continue enjoying lunch. I'll rewind that and I'll say it in a nicer way. Don't overestimate their interest in you.
Nice.
Well, it's the same thing. I just try to say it nicer.
Brian, our very special guest, we have Brian Ross on the show here. He is a financial expert. He travels around the world teaching financial literacy, inspirational messages, customer service training. Awesome guy. Brian, what are some rules maybe you have if you're going to set a meeting with a unicorn, someone who's kind of a big deal? What are some rules? How do you need to approach that meeting?
Absolutely. Well, what I found is that you don't have to stick with the same approach. You can think outside the box. You can try a different approach. I want it to be, this isn't my first time on the radio, believe it or not. I know what you're saying.
Wow.
I wanted to be a DJ so bad when I was in college.
Oh, wow.
That I submitted tapes after tapes after tapes. Wasn't getting anywhere until I went through my college enroll guidance counselor, what have you, to become an intern.
Oh.
Now they had to listen to me. They had no choice.
You showed up.
I showed up. They had to give me a grade, and lo and behold, they gave me a chance to be on the air. And so I was a DJ for about a year.
Now, Thrivers, I have little steps here for you. I want to make sure I just kind of go over with you real fast. These are my big 5. Do this. I would encourage you to show up with at least these 5, so that way the person you're talking to knows that at some point you have a point. And by thinking about your conversation ahead of time, it should keep you from painting yourself into a verbal corner, which we've all done at some point.
Oh, yeah.
So these are the 5 areas. Write it down. Rapport. Just write down maybe 4 or 5 questions you want to ask them to build rapport.
Yes.
You don't have to ask them all.
For example,
Like you might say, so tell me about your family. So tell me about your occupation. How'd you get started?
Oh, yeah. Those are always good ones.
Recreation. It's FORE. Family, occupation, recreation, enjoyment. But you want to have some rapport building questions. The second is some needs. So what are your goals for this year? You're meeting someone for the first time. So what are your goals for this year, Mr. Foreman? I actually met George Foreman years ago, and I remember asking him that, and it was fascinating to hear him talk about how his focus had shifted to ministry. And that's his favorite topic is himself. And even though he's a kind guy and asked me questions in return, he really was passionate about that. But ask him their goals, things they want. The next is benefits. You want to find some way to offer some sort of benefit to them in exchange for them taking the time to meet with you. Maybe just a little Starbucks gift card or a little handwritten thank you or a book or just
very
something.
important, very important.
And then the next is the kind of that call to action. When you leave the meeting, if you do want something, whether it's a second meeting or it's an interview or a chance to be on the radio show or whatever, you just want to know what you're asking for so you're able to ask it succinctly.
Yes.
And then the final one is I would go ahead and do what I call the rude interview with yourself ahead of time. Think of all the objections or rude questions they may ask you so that you don't go, because I'm just telling you, the higher up the food chain you go, the more candid the people you're meeting with are.
Yes.
And candor is something you're only going to find at the top of the food chain.
Yes.
And sometimes, I'm just telling you, I've met with some people that are very successful, and they ask you some pretty brutal questions pretty quickly.
Yes.
And you just got to be prepared for that.
Yeah, they want to vet you, and they want to see if they're wasting their time. And the other thing, too, is always, whatever time you've booked for it, don't go over your time. Don't push the time limit. What I have found is that when you're in a situation that you're enjoying and you want to be back in that situation again, always leave them wanting a little bit more. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Well, so Z, we've been here together for about three hours, but I was going to see if an hour 4, if I could keep you for one more hour. And I wanted to really get into your feelings about marsupials. Is that okay? I know it's a little off topic, but
I love marsupials, but here's the deal. Come back. We've got more super moves for you on how to book those meetings. Thrivetime Show.
Okay, managing your money has not been easier. Mint.com is the solution to ambiguous and blind money management. You can effortlessly create budgets that are easy to stick to or even use one that they make for you. Design budgets that are appropriate for now and put you in position to succeed in the future. Get notifications for weird account charges and receive personalized tips for eliminating fees and saving more money. Check your credit with a free credit score and explore what you can do to improve it to be able to purchase the things that you really want later. Link up the app on your phone, and money management on the go has never been easier. You can even link up your portfolio accounts so you can see your bank accounts and stock values side by side. Mint.com, you got to go check it out, and you can sign up for free. Again, that's mint.com, mint.com. Go sign up right now. It's definitely a game changer for money management.
Broadcasting from the center of the universe, featuring optometrist turned entrepreneur, Dr. Robert Zellner, and U.S. SBA Entrepreneur of the Year, Clay Clark. This is the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back inside the box that rocks, your audio dojo of mojo. It's the Thrivetime Show. My name is Clay Clark, and I'm joined here with the co-host with the mo-host, Dr. Robert Zellner. Now, Dr. Z, we were talking a lot about personal branding, and specifically we're talking about how to get a meeting with kind of that unicorn. You realize, hey, I got to improve my branding, okay?
Yes.
And I have to make sure that I know the right people so that I can build associations and connections, alliances, business development deals with different social circles. And one of the moves that we talked about was you got to call people you don't know. You actually want to make a list of 10 people that you don't know. And in 2017, go ahead and book that lunch appointment with them. Go ahead and be intense.
Yes.
But occasionally, people will shut you down.
Absolutely.
And so when you get shut down enough and you find yourself as an aspiring young movie buff named Mr. Steven Spielberg before he was a big deal,
Yes.
you know what you do, Z?
Absolutely. You just show up.
So here's the deal, Thrivers. I've got my Steven Spielberg music ready. Here we go.
Oh, good.
Here's the story. So Steven Spielberg wants a job at the major movie studios, but he doesn't have an actual, connection. doesn't have a job, doesn't have a place to go. So what he does one day is he just shows up and he gets denied by the toll booth Willie, the toll booth guy.
Toll booth Willie.
So he realizes, wait a minute, but how are these other people getting in? They have name badges. They got little name badges, swipe cards. They've got, and they seem like they know the guy. And they're all dressed a certain way. I know what I'm going to do. Tomorrow, I'm going to dress up nice. I'm going to have my little name badge that I'm going to fraudulently make. You mean that he committed some kind of fraud? Yeah, he did a little forgery action.
Yes.
But the next day, he walks in, kind of nods at Toll Booth Willie.
Yes.
Next thing you know, he's inside the major studio.
He's inside. He's in.
And now he's going, well, I guess I'll just follow everybody else.
Yes.
So he puts down his briefcase and he just begins working. Except he's not getting paid and no one's his boss.
And no one knows he's there.
Well, he does this day after day for about a week or so. And if you want to read this story, you can get the Think and Grow Rich, the new updated version. It tells the story. Or you can just look up The Life of Steven Spielberg. I think Biography has a special where he explains this.
Yes.
So after about 2 weeks of playing this game, he realizes, I got to eventually have an office there. Everyone else has an office. He goes to the janitorial closet and he orders a nameplate and he takes off the name janitor and he puts on place of it, he puts Spielberg.
Yes.
And this continues for a long time. And eventually, after working for free there for months, one of the higher-ups comes in and goes, Spielberg, who hired you? And he goes, one of the boys up top, one of these. No, okay, well, Spielberg, I got this new video, this new commercial we're working on. I need you. I love your style, love your energy, I need you to get that done. So only when it came time to pay him did they realize this joker's not even on payroll.
He's not even work here.
Yeah, and I'll tell you though, that is the story that is so indicative of how many of the top people you think about today. Specifically, let's think of music. Puff Daddy, he now goes by the name Diddy, or Sean Combs. That's how he got started, with just straight up walking in. Russell Simmons, the founder of the hip hop music culture, basically, Def Jam. That's how he got started. Oprah, internships. There's so many people who are unwilling to work for free to build that connection. But why is it so important? I mean, if your optometry clinic right now, if there's a young man listening to the show, young woman listening to the show, and they have no money and no discernible job skills, but they say, hey, I'm willing to work I'll work 10 hours a week, 20 hours a week for free. I'll do whatever you want. Why is it such an appealing offer as an entrepreneur?
Well, it helps your bottom line.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to turn that down. And that's the move. That's one of our other secret moves, super moves. Brian touched on it earlier, and that is the intern move, where you show up and say, listen, I want to work for you, and you don't have to pay me any money. And you might say, that is crazy. Well, you say, I know you're open for me personally, I'm open 7 days a week. So you have your job doing your thing, right? But you have weekends off. So you come in and say, hey, I'll work weekends for you for free. I just want to intern. You know what? Because I want to learn about your business. I want to learn about you. And so by doing that, they come in and start, just like Steven Spielberg did pretty soon, they're in there working, you get to know them. And if they're now you got to be a diligent worker. You got to show up on time. You got to go through what I call my 5 A's.
The 5 A's. Give us the 5 A's. Give it to us.
Well, you're parents. You can't show up and look like you haven't had a shower in like 3 weeks.
Do I have to wear pants?
you have to wear pants.
It's ridiculous.
Sometimes people come in, we give them scrubs,
okay,
and they wear those, and sometimes they come in and look like they've slept in them for the weekend. You're like, no.
I woke up on a couch somewhere and they had these on. It's crazy.
But I made it here. I'm okay. So appearance, okay? Attitude. You've got to have a great attitude. You don't bring all the negative stuff that's happened the day before into your life, right?
Is it not cool to fight with people I work with?
That's not cool. So you have so your second is you got to have the attitude,
okay,
all right?
Got it.
Above and beyond. Do more than what's required of you. That always makes you stand out, and especially if you're an intern.
Would Bernie Sanders approve of that? I mean, working doing more than you're supposed to. Aren't you supposed to be done at 36 hours? I mean, sorry, I didn't realize what show this was. I'm going to hop back to the other network. See you guys. Bye.
Accuracy. Now, why is accuracy important, guys?
Well,
touch on that for a little bit.
If you're playing with hand grenades, I mean, if you're just doing or horseshoes, I suppose getting close enough is okay. But in business, let me talk to you about what happens when you build a repeatable system. So I'll talk to you about the company DJ Connection I used to own. We had in Christmas of whatever year it was, maybe 2005, 2006, we got to where we were doing 40 corporate parties at the same time. Well, all the corporate parties, they said, hey, we want this thing called karaoke. And I'm going, okay, I got it. I can do. This is when karaoke was the boss there for a while. It was the thing you did at the holiday party. So I bought a system. And then I bought this thing called the duplicator, which I bought from the distributor, which allows you to mass duplicate the CDs that you bought licenses to for karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
And I put the job, the assignment of doing it on the task list of a guy who was a phenomenal DJ, but whose accuracy I had not yet tested.
Okay.
So he mass produced 40 sets of karaoke music and systems. And we went out to and this is back before I understood quality control and feedback loops and layers of redundancy. And this is why I wasn't in charge of an airline, okay, because people would have died.
Not good.
I mean, not good. And so we went out there, and one by one, the calls start coming in. And this is back on the old flip phone thing. I answer the phone. DJ Connection, this is Clay. And they're going, there's no music on this CD, and there's no words on any of them. There's like 400 discs in the collection.
And
painful. I'm going, okay, well, just tell the event planner that we're sorry. Phone rings. I'm looking. Who? Another DJ is calling? DJ Connection. This is Clay. Hey, Clay, there's no music on these discs. Phone rings. And basically all 40 of them, I ended up doing almost a complete refund for that weekend. The big goose egg during the busiest time of the year. And then I got home, and my wife reminded me that if you do your events for free and you have to pay people, you go backwards.
Yes, that is not the way to build a business.
You don't want to spend more than you're making.
Well,
typically, whatever, Socrates.
I'll just make it up in volume. Make it up in volume. We'll just do more.
So that becomes a problem. And Z, do you have another A? You have another A?
Yes, attendance. If you tell them you're going to be there Saturday morning at 9 a.m., be there at 8:45 Saturday morning. Don't show up at 9:15 and go, well, you're not paying me. So, I mean, what's the big deal? I'll show up when I'm going to show up. I mean, it's like, I'm not getting a paycheck. So let's go over the 5 A's again.
Okay, A number one.
So if you're going to go do an internship, I highly recommend that. And the other thing that's cool about internship is you get to kind of get a taste of that business, because you may say to yourself, hey, I want to be an optometrist, but I really don't know. Go intern with an optometrist. Hey,
right.
I want to be a financial planner, but I really don't know.
Yeah.
So you call up Brian, you go intern with the financial planner. I want to be a DJ. You call up DJ Connection back in the day, and you say, hey, listen, I want to work for you for free. I just want to help load, unload, work some of your stuff, man. I just want to be an intern for you. And then you after a little bit of that, you go, yeah, I don't get this. I don't want to do it. Or then you say, I want to do this.
I bet you half the people I went to college with at Oral Roberts University, upon their senior year, was the first time they interned.
Yeah.
And at least half of the people that I know as seniors, they're wrapping up their degree, realized, I don't want to be a school teacher at all. I don't want to work in the media at all. I don't want to be a lawyer. I don't want to. Intern as soon as possible.
Intern as soon as possible. And here's the 5 A's when you are interning, is what we're talking about here. These are the 5 A's you want to be purposeful about and do with excellence. One is attitude, great attitude. Above and beyond, do more than what you're required to do for the day. Accuracy, make sure you're doing it correctly. Like in my optometry clinic, whether it's a plus or a minus is a big difference. It's like just one little piece of ink, but it's a big difference.
I didn't know if you wanted diesel or unleaded, so I put both in and I kind of swirled them around.
I figured I couldn't go wrong.
Swear to you, that actually happened when I had a landscaping business. One of the guys, he literally did that, and he said he swirled them around. And I remember he goes, I just was stuck in my mind. You swirled them around?
It's called mixing.
Like, no way.
Appearance, make sure you're high and tight, looking good. You've been to Elephant in the Room and got your first free haircut for $1.
$1.
You got your straight razor shave and you're looking high and tight. And then attendance, be there early, stay a little late, and be there on time. And so those are the 5 A's.
I want to ask our special guest here, Mr. Brian Ross, because he helps teach financial literacy, educate people about how to become successful in the world of business. Goes into a lot of companies where they have many young employees, many employees of all different ages, and they want to educate all of them at one time about some of these financial principles. Talk to me about some of these A's here, Brian.
Yes, absolutely. The one that stands out, Dr. Z, is accuracy, because there is such a thing as compliance. Companies that offer 401k savings retirement plans, for example, have to comply with certain standards. And that accuracy is crucial, making sure that they provide a certain amount of financial education and certain levels of competency for that.
And some of the businesses that Dr. Z and I are involved in, So some people are listening to the show going, yeah, it must be easy for you guys because you have a hair salon and a DJ business. And he's got an optometry clinic and
auto auction.
But my sister-in-law recently started working over there at your auto auction.
Yeah, she's doing a great job, by the way.
She's loving it, by the way. Talking
Good.
about, she goes, because I guess the Fridays are the big rush over there.
Yeah, well, that's the day that we have the auction. So that's the action day.
And she has to, the title work has to be clear and accurate.
It has to be.
So what would happen if you didn't do accurate title work in that? Let's say that happened for 1 week in a row, or maybe 2 weeks in a row, enough to make a row. What would happen?
Oh, dogs and cats would start living together. It would rain fire down from the sky. I mean, it would be an epic shutdown, meltdown of the universe as we know it. I mean, it'd be bad. Well, what would happen is that you have to go back and redo it on another busy day because you're selling 500 cars a week. We run maybe 850 cars, and not all of them sell, but 500. That's 500 deals. The title has to go boom, 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 boom every week. And so if you do it wrong 1 week, now the next week you've got 1,000 to do. And then if you get those wrong, it just snowballs on you. And the deals have to get unwound. It's money out of my pocket because, by law, we have to give them a good title within so many days. And then they're trying to sell the car.
You always come back to money. You're always talking about money on this business show.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
It's so bizarre. Now, Z, I have a confession I want to make for all 37,000 people, roughly, who are listening to the show at any given time here, Z. Are you ready?
Oh, wait a second. Can I get confessional music?
I have a little bit of an apology.
Can I get confessional music queued up?
You can cue it up there. I'm okay with it.
Well, I tell you what. Let's do this one.
Okay, here's the deal. I went to Oral Roberts University, and I got kicked out of Oral Roberts University.
I thought you were just asked to leave.
Yes, for writing a parody song about the school's president, Richard Roberts. Long story short, the song was disseminated on Napster, various things, and now thousands of students are listening to it. I got asked to leave, but I had just read this Spielberg story, true story. And I realized that my wife was a cheerleader at the ORU basketball program there for Oral Roberts. She's on scholarship. And the only way to attend the games, because I was on that watch list, that can't come to the game list, was to pretend like I was a member of the coaching staff. I swear to you. And I used to just take my briefcase.
I've never heard this story.
And I used to dress up, and I would just walk right in, and it worked, and I couldn't believe it. So I found myself sitting oftentimes at the scorer's table at the game. No, I'm not kidding. People thought that they're like, I must be part of the team. You must be part of the whole marketing team. And then over time, I got a chance to meet some of the higher ups, and I ended up mixing their music, but they never put two and two together until after the fact. But I did sneak my way into like 20 home ORU basketball games per year for about 2.5 years during my great exile from Oral Roberts University. Thrivetimeshow.com. Check it out.
This show's episode is brought to you by Moz.com. If you have ever considered the World Wide Web as a viable strategy for your business, you gotta check out this tool. Online marketing is complicated, but Moz software makes it easy. Companies like 99 Designs, Otterbox, and Aaron's, they all use Moz because it works. Explore organic search keywords for your business, research Bing and Google search results for your targeted keywords, and link up Moz Local and Google My Business. Seriously, this tool is crazy powerful with the clarity it brings to online marketing for your business. Even if you're just curious, start a 30-day trial with Moz.com today. It's a game changer for your business. Moz.com, MOZ.com.
You're listening to the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170.
As always, we're playing that 80s for the ladies here on the Thrivetime Show, your audio dojo of mojo. My name is Clay Clark, and we are excited to be teaching you how to start and grow a successful business. And Dr. Z, the only thing that I could be more excited to talk about than today's topic, which is personal branding and business branding, the only thing that I could be more excited to possibly talk about than branding is Oklahoma Joe's.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're still deciding what to do for lunch today, it's not too late. You can drive. If you're in Broken Arrow, drive over by the Bass Pro Shop. Oklahoma Joe's is there. If you're in South Tulsa, you can drive over to 61st and Sheridan, find the Oklahoma Joe's right there. Or if you're downtown, you can go over to the Canes Ballroom, the iconic Canes Ballroom. And right next to Canes, for lunch, Oklahoma Joe's is open, which is right now. And you can go in there. My move, and you can thank me later for this.
Yeah, this is a move.
My move down. Is the burnt ends. Oof. And the baked beans.
Someone needs to write that down right now. You're saying burnt ends?
What do they burn? They burn.
Is it burned or burnt?
Burnt
Ends.
Yeah.
Ends.
And Joe Davidson, the founder, owner, proprietor of Oklahoma Joe's, has figured out a way. He figured out that, a lot of people's favorite part of the barbecue is that the end that's kind of got the burnt on it.
He worked directly with NASA to do this. He was working with NASA and
with rocket scientists and engineers.
Russian cosmonauts came in.
Russian, yes, in their suits and flipped their visors up and ate the burnt end. And so he's figured out a way that all the meat and that dish has got the little burnt end on it, and they are fabulous. And then those baked beans we have done it before, and I think it's a good way to kick off the year. The bean challenge.
Oh, the bean challenge. So the bean challenge. Here's how the bean challenge works. If you're listening right now, and you go on over there right now to just today. Today, you just got a very limited amount of time left here, but you got to run on over there. If you go to Oklahoma Joe's and you get yourself some baked beans, if they are the best in the world, which they advertise to be, and they've won many, many awards for. If they are the best, then you come here to the Thrive15.com world headquarters. Just Google it on your phone. It's in beautiful Jinx, America. I'm going to give you a free copy of my newest book, Start Here. Now, if you go there and you say, I am a pathological liar and they are not the best thing ever. If you can say that, if you can actually just say that, I'm still going to give you a copy of my book for being just a skilled actor or for having a psychological problem.
And then you give them a high five, right?
Yeah, you got to give me a high five here at Thrive.
Yeah.
High five at Thrive and the book.
Yeah. Will you sign it? Will you say
I will sign
to
it.
Billy?
And I will say, the other day we had a gentleman come by who works in the he works in the air conditioning, heat and air industry. He came by. He took the challenge. True story. He came by. Boom. It was awesome. I feel like we've connected.
Well, yeah, and you have.
It was ecstasy when he was next to me, and now it gets weird. But anyway, Thrivers, we're moving on. So what we're talking about today, Thrivers, is how to do branding, okay? Branding, which is how to change the perception that people have about you and your business in a positive way, because the branding is all about perception. People are willing to pay more for products and services when they see quality branding. And one of the areas of branding is the association you have with other people.
That's right.
Because the people that you're around begin to impact the opportunities that you have. And so, Z, we're talking about how to set an appointment with a big kahuna. The big kahuna.
So and this is the third move in our discussion today. It's the power of mastermind or association. And the point here is that you surround yourself with great people that inspire you, that their net worth is more than your net worth. And therefore, that's a way that you can step yourself up in life, okay? You can help get decisions. I mean, if you think to yourself, man, if I could have Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and, a few other people as like my inner circle guys, I could call them with a question. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Now, the odds of getting those big fish in your inner circle are pretty tough. So the idea that you can write down 10 people that you know now or know of, and you say to yourself, I want to book a lunch, I want to book a coffee, I want to get 30 minutes, I want to get an hour of their time. We're teaching you how to do that right now. The first move was persistency, and that is just keep pounding in a pleasant, nice way, not mean, but just keep, you'll never answer my phone call. Oh, I really want to meet you. Not like that, but kind and nice and persistent. That's the first one.
Yep.
The second one was, super move was go be an intern. Say, hey, listen, I'll come work for you for free.
Yeah,
I'll just come work for you for free. I just want to intern. I just want to be in your business. I want to learn about your business. You're fascinating. I want to get in your business, and I just want to work for free. Intern.
Move number 3 that I love. This is the introduction. So let's say that I want to meet Brian. By the way, you have a very special guest on the show. Brian is a personal financial educator, a motivational speaker. His name's Brian Ross. Brian, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, and I am honored to be between two giants, literally and figuratively here. You guys are fantastic.
Well, I'll say this. This is what I'll say. Is if people are listening right now and they go, I want to meet Brian. I want to, because my New Year's resolution is to fix my personal finances.
Yes.
I'm ready to do it.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to do it in a big group setting. I want to talk to him one-on-one. The thing is, Thrivers, if you were to call us, okay, you just email info@thrive15.com. Email info@thrive15.com. Email info@thrive15.com. And when you do that, we could introduce you to Brian, okay? And because I know Brian, now if I say, Brian, hey, there's a listener who wants to meet you, it's not weird. It doesn't feel like a cold introduction.
That's right. And so you may know the top 10 you put on your list, right? You've pulled over and you wrote down those 10 names of the people you want to do. Now, all of a sudden, that's one of the moves. You know somebody who knows them intimately and they can introduce you, do the handoff. And that's super move number 3. And that's a great way to do it because then you get bona fide. And they can say, hey, listen, I've got to, and that's what happens with me a lot. My brother or somebody that I know intimately that's in my inner circle will say, hey, listen, here's a dude, and he wants some of your time.
He wants inside the circle. He wants to come inside the circle.
He wants to pick your brain a little bit, and he's a good dude, and he's not weird, and it's going to be okay. And I'm like, okay, you just got bona fide. All right, you can give him my number, and I'll get him on my schedule when he contacts me, okay? So that's another one. Another one is kind of a fun super move that I've seen people do. Is just send them cool things.
Send them cool gifts.
So the second move is interning, where you're giving them time. You're giving them resources. You're giving them something that's you and time. You may say to yourself, I'm too busy. I can't intern. I can't, that move is, I can't do that move. I don't have the time to do that. Well, then what you do is you send them some really cool stuff.
I started sending somebody a song of me singing this song. I just would send him audio discs of me singing "Careless Whisper" to him, and he was a man, and it ended up charges were filed. And no, just kidding. But I'm saying there's certain gifts.
Okay, we don't send audio tapes of us sending "Careless Whisper." That's not the gift I'm talking about.
Okay,
but I've known people that have done some really fun stuff. They just send flowers or chocolates or cards or gift cards or.
I have one I want to brag on a guy.
Okay.
Winters and King. It's a great law firm in Tulsa.
Okay.
And we've been doing their search engine optimization, getting over the top of Google for a long time. And when I first met them, they sent me a really nice holiday. It was like a carriage. It was a really nice, it really was nice gifts. It was like a carriage, and then inside the carriage was a wooden carriage, probably about the size of, I don't know, it was probably about 2 feet by 2 feet. And then inside were all these decorative chocolates and nice accoutrements and snacks and things that the kids would love. And it jumped out because I had to bring it home. You got to carry this nice wagon of awesome. And so it's a move. And so if you're listening here, Thrivers, what we want to do is we want to empower you. We want to help you take that next step and make this new year the best year in your career. So, Brian, I want to ask them, if they're listening right now and they want to make a positive step in the area of personal finance, how can they get a hold of you?
Absolutely. The website is takeabigstep.com, takeabigstep.com. And 2017 is an ideal time. You're making New Year's resolutions. It's a great time to make the New Year's resolution to take a big step in your finances. And I'd love to help you.
And just kind of a super move, I want to make sure we're learning something. Please don't send an audio version of yourself romantically singing "Careless Whisper" to somebody you want to get to know, right? I mean, that's just a move.
You know what? I'm pretty sure we can stamp that. Don't do that.
We endorse that.
Right now, how are you taking credit card payments for your business? It's never been faster or easier to begin taking credit card payments for your business than with Square. You know the little white square that plugs into your phone's headphone jack? It's awesome. This payment app is great for businesses such as food trucks, beauty salons, and retail shops. The users receive a small portable card reader that they can attach to a phone or other mobile device to take fast and convenient payments. The way it works is that it subtracts 2.75% of every time a card is run, and it does it automatically. So if you sell a sandwich for $20, you'll see a net gain of $19.45 in your bank account the next day. If you enter the card by hand, it costs 3.5% plus 15 cents on top of that. They encrypt everything so you know you're secure. They make it super clear to start and even offer bonuses for sharing with friends. So you can learn more at squareup.com. It's free to download and works on all devices and operating systems. So make sure that you go visit squareup.com.
Live, local, now. You're listening to the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170.
Hello, Talk Radio 1170 listeners. Welcome back to the Thrivetime Show. We're listening to some Michael Jack, and we are excited. We are excited to help you enter into this new year and to make 2017 the best year of your life. And I'm not just saying that for hyperbole. I really do mean it. Dr. Robert Zellner and I, we take time out of our schedule every day to hop on the radio and to have a conversation with you, because when you email questions to info@thrive15.com, the questions that you're asking become the format for each show. I mean, these shows are made for you. And today we're talking about branding and how to really take your branding to the next level with your business and your personal brand. And we're really focusing right now on how to meet new associates, how to meet new people, how to build those personal associations in that network, Z, because that personal network is so important.
Yeah, there's a saying out there that says if you run with the dogs, you're going to get fleas. It's on the flip side that we're talking about. That's a negative side of what we're doing. You know, if you run with billionaires, odds are you're going to become richer. Because this their habits and the way that they rub off. Okay, so we maybe can't get billionaires on our radar. I could call Mark Cuban probably quite a few times, and I'm probably not going to book that lunch with him,
I have called him many times.
There you go. But maybe we can start off with millionaires or 100,000-aires or successful people-aires
or carnies.
Or carnies.
Okay, I was a disc jockey, which is one step lower than a carny.
Yeah.
So we look up to the carnies.
Yeah, we're aspiring to be a carny. So surround yourself with carnies and maybe get that break, So we went over some different moves. The first one is be proactive. Write down the 10 people you want to spend some time with, lunch or coffee, or just hang out with them a little bit, okay? And then we talked about how we do that. We had 4 super moves. One was persistency. One was interning. One was the introduction. And the last one we just discussed, that is send them stuff. Send them gifts. Just send them stuff. Random stuff. Yeah, I know you got to pay for it. You got to get it there. Another thing is that I know some guys that would send a big blow up thing and put it in their front, in front of their business. They just kind of.
That's how Arthur Greeno got to meet me. He forked my lawn. He put forks all over my lawn.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know what that means, he's taking forks and putting them all over my lawn like plastic forks. And then he put up a massive, I want to say like a 6-foot tall Chick-fil-A cow. He owns the Chick-fil-A's.
Yeah.
He put that on my lawn and said, "Happy birthday." And these kinds of things just kept happening, and I'm going, "What in the world?" But
Who is this guy?
Yeah, but you almost become curious.
Did you press charges, or what did you?
Well, after the charges were dropped, I want to tell you a final benefit that I see of really taking your associations to the next level. The final bit I see is like, this is a huge home run, is who you're around begins to affect your normal. So if you watch the Christmas Vacation movie, okay?
Yeah.
One of the things that makes it super funny is Cousin Eddie he's impossibly clueless about social decorum, what to say, what to do, social nuance, any type of grace at all.
Yes.
And Clark is middle class guy trying to have a nice Christmas, and Cousin Eddie is emptying his RV's waste into his sewer.
Yes.
He's staying there for the month. But one of my favorite scenes, I'm going to play a little clip from it, okay? Because this is it. He brings his dog into the house, and you can't do that, okay? So a little networking tip. If you're trying to meet a multimillionaire or somebody you're trying to connect with someone of a higher net worth than you, don't bring your crazy rabid dog to their house.
Don't do that.
But here's the audio. Just marinate on this for a second.
No, don't worry about it, Clark. Little tree water ain't going to hurt him. Before we left, he drank a half a quart of Pennzoil. Boy, when he lifted his leg the next morning, whoa.
Those are things you just can't.
You just don't do.
But the thing is, I see this a lot of times, and I think back to my early days and getting started in my career. There's a certain locker room humor that exists when you're a young man and you're around college guys.
Yes, there is.
And you just you make jokes you shouldn't make, you do things you shouldn't do, and really you're practicing what I call the dark art of jackassery. And so it's a mixture of the Force from Star Wars. There's like the dark side.
Yes.
But worse than the dark side is this wealth-repelling force called jackassery.
I didn't know it had a name. I didn't.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes. It's a thing. It's a thing.
And it repels wealth.
Yes.
And so you do little moves where you look angry at people, you make inappropriate jokes around people of high net worth, you show up late for things, you just sort of repel wealth. But when you're around people who are successful over time through observing how they carry themselves, you can learn some things.
You're listening to the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170.
And one of the things I've been educated by Dr. Robert Zellner here is the rule of 6. So you have this rule of 6. So when you're trying to network and meet some other couples or meet some other people and you want to organize a dinner party, there's some logic in having a few people. But you have this thing called the rule of 6. Can you break that down like fractions, my friend?
Like fractions, like square root of 49 is 7, like fractions.
This guy's good at math.
Here's the deal: if you want to be purposeful and you want to spend some time with someone and you get a dinner with them, you don't want to have too many people there that it gets fractioned into different conversations. So 6 is about all you can handle in one conversation. If you get much more than 6, and if you're at a dinner party or if you're at a dinner and there's more than 6 people there, you'll notice if you look around the table, there'll be multiple conversations going on. But 6 is one where you can kind of keep everybody tied into one conversation. I found so 6 are fewer. If there's somebody there, you say, I want to really get to know this person. I want to spend some extra time with them. I want to deep dive in their brain. If you have many more people than that, then you're going to be really competing for that time and space with them. So
now, Z, you've been in business for years, 25 years
25.
with Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates.
Yes, sir.
You've seen presidents on the left and the right come in and out of office. Economically speaking, is this one of the better times to be in business since you've been on the planet?
Well, I'll let you know. I mean, inauguration's in a few weeks, and a lot of things have been promised, and good things hopefully are coming down the pipe. But whatever the rules are, whatever the windows we have to jump through, just because a promise was made doesn't mean it's going to be fulfilled. You have to say to yourself, listen, tell me the rules, and I'm going to adjust my business to take advantage of the playing field that's out there right now.
And so I had a guy the other day, he's in the parking lot, and he pulls me aside, and he says, hey, how's the online education market? And I said, it's great. I'm just going to my car, Yeah. And he goes, oh, man, I tell you what, right now, remodeling's just in the toilet. The economy is just a complete disaster. And I know the guy enough to know that he's not asking for my feedback, so I'm not going to argue. But I know that he's around people that are all systemically poor.
Yeah.
And they believe that the economy's been bad since Reagan, through Clinton, through Bush, back to, they basically, no matter who the president, they believe the economy cannot get better. And that's one of the things, Brian, that you do when you go in and you help young people, you help people in the workforce, you come and you teach financial literacy.
Absolutely.
People who grow up poor are surrounded by poverty, and you help kind of break that poverty mindset.
You absolutely nailed it. You model who you hang out with. And people of wealth take care of their money. They're not frivolous with their money. And so if you want to model that behavior, you want to hang with people who are good with their money.
Now, Thrivers, if you're listening right now and you're going, okay, I want to take my branding to the next level, but I want to have a specific checklist of the things that I should have together and have them high and tight before February. The things I have to get done to take my brand to the next level before February. Good news is Dr. Z and I, we sat down, we've made a list of the things that you definitely have to have in place if you're going to take your branding to the next level. Because if you're motivated, you're inspired, you're educated, but you still have some pretty nasty branding, Z, it can affect your bottom line.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, we talk about ways to meet people, ways to network, ways to increase your net worth by networking with people that are successful, people like you, people that want the same thing. And we're going to have a great opportunity for you to do that. Yeah, jump on a plane, get in a car, walk here if you need to. But January 20th and 21st, we are putting on our next Thrive 15 workshop. I mean, we're talking about practical steps, and everybody in the room, guess what? You look left, you look right. They're going to be people that are trying to do it right.
And there's no upsells. You don't have to feel like there's someone high pressuring you to make millions overnight with some real estate seminar or some sort of tricks to success. It's specific, actionable trainings, 15 hours of power spread out over 2 days, marketing, sales, accounting, search engine optimization. It's all there. ThriveTimeShow.com. ThriveTimeShow.com.
Are you looking to start or grow a business? Then you are definitely going to have problems and questions along the way. You will find the answers to all of your business questions at Thrive15.com. Thrive15.com provides online video-based business training taught by millionaires and successful entrepreneurs for less than $1 per day. That's less than your daily coffee budget. It's no classrooms, no get-rich-quick seminars. These are trainings broken into 15-minute segments that get you the answers that you need. It's business school without the BS. I dare you to try a 7-day free trial. Simply go to Thrive15.com, and the first 100 people will also receive a free downloadable for how to optimize your website. So stop wasting your time and money. Go to Thrive15.com and get your business questions answered now.
You're listening to the Thrive Time Show on Talk Radio 1170.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the Thrivetime Show. We are super excited to be here with you today. And Z, unfortunately, to start this new year, we're missing 2 members of our listening audience. We're short 2 members. Miss Carrie Fisher is not with us. She's not with us. Princess Leia, she's not listening to the show today. And George Michael is not listening to the show today. So big, we're going to miss you guys, but we are going to play Careless Whisper whenever possible. And I watched a Star Wars there to bring in the new year with the kids. And so we're doing our part to show our respects for Carrie Fisher and the late, great Mr. George Michael.
It just points out, they're both relatively young. As I get older, they just seem, George was just a year older than me, and Carrie was, 60, and I'm 52. So you look at that and you go, wow, that's really young. But the point I'm trying to make is that you look at that and, death is something that comes to all of us eventually someday. And so we're here on this show because Forbes did a little study.
Yes,
Forbes is kind of a big deal. They did a little study that said about 60%, it's actually about 57, but
57%.
We'll say about 6 out of 10 of you out there listening right now have that little goal, that little dream, that little desire to start or to grow a business, okay? And so, you know what we're here to do is to try to make this day until your last day the best days they can be. And we feel like giving you practical business steps and how to start and grow that business, encouraging you to do it, and then giving you the tools to do it. Guess what? Between now and that day, you can have a better life.
I'm going to tell you this, Z, the thing about our 13-point business system that we're going to teach here at our Thrive 15 workshops, our 2-day workshops on January 20th and 21st, right here in our headquarters. There's no charlatan smoke and mirrors. We'll meet you at some hotel room because we don't have an office.
Your original move at McDonald's.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
None of that charlatan McDonald's move I used to do. But we're going to meet you at the Thrive15.com world headquarters. And one of the things we're going to teach you is we're going to teach you our 13-point system, that we apply that system to every business that we're involved in. And the thing I want to share with you, and this is something I want you to write it down. Someone needs to write this down because it's not complicated, but it's not easy.
Correct.
So it's not complicated. We're going to teach you a system that's step by step. It's linear. You can do it, but it's not easy, okay?
Right.
And so I have a checklist of the things you have to do right now if you own a business to take your branding and marketing to the next level. And if you don't do it, we can't help you. But if you're willing to take the action steps, this is going to change the game for you. So one, you have to have a professional logo.
You have to. You just have to do it. And there's people out there that do it. It's not, listen, you're going panicking, going, I don't know how to do that. That's okay. It's okay. There's professionals that do that every day, and they're good at it.
My 3rd grade son made that back in the 60s, and I'm not going to change it, Z, because of the off-centeredness to it has become part of my culture.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, people, you got to get that logo. Now, the second is you got to have a website. Now, here's the deal. There is some really crazy, I was doing my show prep for today, and I was looking up the percentage of small businesses that don't have a website. And I want Thrivers, you need to go look that up right now. It's going to blow your mind. I mean, there's people going, I don't need a website. I sell hoagies and grinders. Why would I need a website? You can't taste a hoagie and a grinder on a website, right?
That's right.
Unbelievable. The genius is on the internet. You can't taste food on a website. No, the third of those, you got to have a one sheet, which is a way to quickly articulate what you do to your potential buyers. Or you could call this interior signage, or you could call this internal brochures. At your optometry clinic, you have signage.
Yes.
Big visuals. Why is it so important to have clean and big signage everywhere?
Well, when people come in, they you're educating them, and you're really, this is going to be crazy, and I know, don't take this the wrong way, you're selling. You're always selling.
I would never sell, which is why I live in a van down by the river.
You're a doctor. You're not supposed to sell. No, yes, you're always selling whatever business you have. And so when they come in, point of purchase selling, point of purchase, branding is very important, because now you've done the hard part. You've got them in the front door. Boom. You got them in there. Okay. Now you want to continue that process. Okay. You want to lead them down the line of purchasing and selling. And so that's what you do it subliminally. You just kind of like,
I've got a story here. I got
your hot sauce. Got a hot sauce. I can see you're marinating.
When my wife was working for you, one of the things you do is when you're married, your wife comes home from work and you don't talk about work. I'm not saying that's what you should do. I'm just saying that's what you do when you first get married. A lot of times you're not talking to. So my wife comes home from work and I say, "How was your day?" And she's like, "Oh, it was good." We talk about something else.
Right.
So I have no clue that you offered a very generous discount to your employees and their immediate family members.
Correct.
On glasses. I don't remember what it was, but all I knew is I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
And I was working at Target making maybe $240 a week after taxes.
show off.
So I go in there and I saw those Nike glasses, the one with the swoosh on the side.
Just do it, baby.
But it was you had a big, huge print. It's probably a 10-foot tall print on the walls, big print. And I look and I'm like, I want to be like Mike. Like Mike, if I could be like, sometimes I dream. And they're going, sir, what kind of glasses? And I'm just going, you got to see, that's how I dream to be. And if I'm going, I want those.
I want those.
And it was like Excalibur. And I'm just, and I walk over and my wife's like, no. And I go over there and I want those. And I get out my Discover card, and I just discovered the magic of that thing. Bought those glasses. You're probably still living off the high interest payments off of that purchase.
We put you together like a cheap suit that day. It was fun. That was good.
No, but seriously,
rang the bell on that one.
But I'm saying
that.
The branding brought me in though. Seriously, the way that you brand things, and you guys have great products, but I would not even have known about. And then you had a deal. This is the final part that was awesome. I could get my second pair, my Eddie Bauer edition, for some sort of a discount, and she goes, "Hey, do you know about our yada yada special?" And I'm going, what is this special? And I'm not kidding you. I got my Nike and my Eddie Bauer.
I feel special.
And you felt special, Z, all weekend, I'm sure, as a result of that purchase.
Oh, yeah. We went out, the kids, and we celebrated. We bought pizza, and we had a party, and we called it the Clay Pizza Fest.
Got him. That's my mark.
Ring the bell, kids. Daddy's bringing home some new shoes.
That sucker, his wife works here, and he doesn't even
we
know
still
about
put him together. What a moron.
So then you have your business cards. You got to have those business cards. And we're in a digital age, and you've got to have, check it out, video testimonials.
Well, I don't have a video team. I don't have guys that can go out and film that and edit it and put it. This is crazy. I don't have all this stuff.
Well, here's the thing: is back in the day, you used to have to go to a video company. You pay them about $4,000 just to do the video.
Yeah.
You spend about $6,000 for the website. But then you got to put it all together. Then you got to find a guy who's a graphic designer. Then you got to go find a guy to kind of help teach you how to sell. And I hired all these people, by the way. My wife worked at Office Depot, and she worked at your facility. I'm working at Applebee's and DirecTV and Target, and all of her income is going back to buy this stuff. And so you and I sat down and said, what if we could find a way to make it super affordable? And so Thrive15.com, we teach you the online education of how to start and grow a successful business. But for $1,500 a month on a month-to-month basis, you can have all of the marketing and branding team that builds our swag, the companies that you and I own, they'll do it for you at like half or a third of the cost of what you can find anywhere else. And it's all available for you here, right here at Thrive15.com in beautiful Jinx, America.
Beautiful Jinx, America. You know, a couple of years ago, Clay approached me and said, hey, listen, I want to scale business coaching because that's my passion. That's what I love to do. And I go, I love mentoring young business people too. And I don't have enough time to do as many as I'd like to do. And there's a lot of people that ask me to do it. And I said, I don't have the time to do it, but I like your idea of scaling this. And so what we did is we put together Thrive15.com, which I like to refer to it as the Netflix of business school coaching, if you will.
You're correct.
What I mean by that is it's a monthly fee. It's minimal, $19. You probably spend more at Starbucks on a pumpkin latte, whatever your thing is.
And by the way, so people know our motivation. You and I grew up poor. We didn't have money.
Yeah.
And so we even have a scholarship with that. It's $19 a month, but literally if you're in a spot, you just go in there and you click the little button. And we have many people who are, paying $5 a month because that's what they can afford. We want to help you. We're just here. It's a handout.
Yeah, that's our heart, to help you. And so what we've done is we've gone around the country and we've gotten all these swagalicious guys. I mean, we're talking about Lee Cockrell, who manages 40,000 employees at Disney World. Yeah, that's a thing. And we took from him, we opened his brain surgically, and we went in there and we got all of his time management goodies. We took all those time management goodies and we've given them to you, okay, in the Thrive 15 platform. We went down to San Antonio and hook up with David Robinson. Now that was a fun deal.
Now David Robinson, a lot of people don't realize, but since he won the MVP of the NBA and since he won his 2 gold medals, since he won his 2 championships, he went on and started the thing called the Admiral Capital Fund. He started a school that was set up to provide world-class education for inner-city kids that couldn't afford it, called the Carver Academy. Then he started this investment fund, and so Academy Sports right here in Tulsa, he owns that.
That's the thing.
That's his thing, Academy Sports. He owns hotels. He's done better off the court financially than on the court.
Right.
And he teaches you leadership and sales. He's awesome.
And we also mind our little local area. I mean, believe it or not, Tulsa is one of the number 1 cities for entrepreneurship in the country. So we've got a lot of great minds right here. We went out and got Jill Donovan, Rustic Cuff, and we filmed her and we chopped that up into videos. And so if you're out there, you're thinking, well, I don't have time or I can't do it. Her story is inspiring. We got Sean Copeland, who's a CEO of Regent Bank, to talk about raising capital and how you present yourself to a bank to raise money. So we have all these videos that you can watch as much as you want, as often as you want. Oh, by the way, when you get a membership, we're going to give a free one to military personnel, okay? That's pretty awesome. But then we also found out that some people want more than that. And that's when we came up with the one-on-one business coaching that Clay was just talking about. So yes, you say, listen, the videos are great and all that, but I want feely touchy, you know? And then on top of that, we said, listen, I don't want the one-on-one, but I do want to feely touchy. So that's why we have our workshops. And the next one's coming up when, Clay?
January 20th and 21st, right here at the beautiful Jinx Riverwalk, the Thrive15.com world headquarters. We have scholarship pricing available, and there's no upsells. So anybody can afford to be there, and no one will be upsold a bunch of stuff when you're there. And as always, 3, 2, 1, boom!